YouTube live. I am just trying to sort out my Wi-Fi connection whilst I speak to you, so hopefully we don't get a grainy reception. I've tried everything I can inside the house to be able to get my Wi-Fi connection out to here. If it is just a 4G connection, then my apologies. If you are watching and it is good quality or it's not good quality or the sound's bad or the sound's good, please let me know as soon as possible so I can see if I can go and sort things out. Very good to see you once again. We've just had our video upload this week, which was our trip down to the NEC in Birmingham. That was good fun. Myself and Ali went down, and we've just done, I'm not going to say it was a full report of the show, because quite literally there is far too much to see down at the NEC for the motorhome and caravan show. If you've ever seen or you've ever been to the NEC for that type of event, it is absolutely bonkers. So yeah, we tried our best. We tried to do lots of things to be able to show you what we were up to, but really we were just blown away and absolutely amazed from what we saw there. And funnily enough, the things we actually really enjoyed looking at were the innovative ways that caravans are actually being improved. I covered it in the video. There's a really cool little caravan called the Beachy, which was really remarkable. So yeah, watch the video if you haven't already. You'll be able to see it, and if you haven't seen that Beachy caravan before, check it out online. I've left some links in the YouTube video, I think. If not, they're on our social media. It's a really, really interesting thing to do. So if you are watching, welcome, and thank you very much for joining us once again. Like I say, if you are watching this and you do notice any quality differences, be it sound or vision or anything else, then please let me know and I will try and sort it out. It seems like my Wi-Fi isn't working too well this week in the garage with the Beetle. You may notice, or those who have seen before, the bug is turned round at the moment. A couple of reasons. One, because I want to do some bits and pieces here this evening. And two, when I came into the garage a couple of hours ago, the entire place was under an inch of water. I was furious, to be honest with you. So I've lifted up some of the lino floor that was down. I've swept the place out. I've got a heater on for the minute, but no puddles at the moment. So I had the bug out and I thought, well, I'll flip it round. I'll do some other interesting work on the car today. So that's good. Right, I will go straight to the comments. So thank you very much, anybody who is watching already. Thank you very much who's commenting already. Thank you very much who's given us a thumbs up. By the way, if you do watch the video or any of the previous videos and you do find any of the information useful, please let me know, and also please give the video a thumbs up as well. It really helps the videos get good reach out there and all of the things that come about with it as well. So starting with the first comment, Scott Beatty, he says, hi, just wondering if you guys sell the insulation and sound deadening for a VWT 5.1 and price please. Yes, we do. If you head over to coomberleycampers.co.uk, look for sound deadening and insulation. We do bundles specifically for your van. So everything is in there to do a full and comprehensive sound deadening and insulation job on your van. And that's in a bundle, so you can just price it all together. One price, one click, buy it now, it'll be with you in 2 days. If you've got any other questions, please do so, but I hope that answered your question. John Sear says, evening Leigh. Chloeverse says, would you recommend 2 separate units for heating and hot water, or just the one Truma D4E combi unit? The 2 units are £1,000, but the Truma is £1,900. So for heating and hot water, or just the one, the Truma D4E. Now that is entirely up to you. If space is a problem, then yes, go for the D4E because they're a more compact unit. The D4E does work extremely well. We fitted one this year to the Airstream Caravan, and what that will do, that will heat up a reserve of 10 or 5 or whatever litre capacity you've designated when you bought it. It will heat up an initial amount of water to whatever temperature you set it to, and then the moment you start using it, it will constantly fill it back up again. So it's like it's just a constantly flowing system, so it works like a combi boiler at home. That's really, really good. Yes, it's very expensive, but it's very efficient, works extremely well. And depending on your water system, you could say plug in a mains water system, so it will just keep flowing as well, and they do work really well. We've had great feedback from the gentleman with the Airstream caravan. He's very, very happy with it. But saying that, yes, you can buy a diesel heater, blown air heater, and you can have that located one place, and you can have a separate water heater, have that located in another place, depending on the size of your van, etc., etc. We are set to be using a new, highly efficient 12 volt / 240 volt diesel, not diesel, a 12 volt / 240 volt water heater coming up, and we will be fitting it in an up and coming project, so I look forward to doing that with you. John Sear says, video is looking good on my 4K TV. Well, thank you very much, John, I appreciate that. Adrian Johnson says, hello, good evening, Adrian. John Sear says, latest video looked like you were in a candy shop. Oh, well, up at the NEC, yes. It honestly, if you've not been to the NEC before, just for the experience, I believe the tickets are actually quite cheap. I believe the tickets are only about £12.50, to be honest with you. We went on a press pass. I applied early for a press pass, initially didn't get it. And then about 3 weeks before, we got emails from the guy, maybe somebody dropped out, who knows. We got emailed to say, yes, you've been accepted, come down. And so very quickly, Ali and I made some arrangements to stay in a local hotel. We actually stayed at Drayton Manor, which is the theme park and all that sort of stuff. That was really cool. Stayed in a hotel there, and then did a short 11-mile drive to the NEC, and we actually, coming from Drayton to the NEC, was actually a fairly decent drive. You go via sort of country lanes, you miss out all the motorways. So maybe I've let out a secret there, but no, Drayton Manor was a really, really good place to stay over the night before. Beach Boy says, hello from Seaton Carew, Hartlepool. Paul, his name, keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much. Really, really appreciate that. John Sear says, what is everyone drinking? I've got a coffee. Yes, for those regulars who watch this video regularly, one of the questions is, what are you drinking? Sometimes I've got a beer on, sometimes I've got a coffee, whatever it might be. I actually don't have anything. I've literally just finished my dinner, and I've come straight out here, so I don't actually have a drink on me at the moment. So, but I would be really interested to know what you've got to drink. Maybe if my wife is watching, she might be able to rap on the garage door with a cup of tea, but who knows? You may notice I have myself a beautifully fresh Rusty Leigh rock and roll bed hoodie on. I went over to go and see Rusty Leigh yesterday, in fact. Myself and my family, we combined a work trip with like a family trip, and we went to go and see a couple of traders. And we saw the guys at Cymru Campervan Furniture down in South Wales, near Swansea-ish. We went to see them on Thursday. We then had a couple of days in Snowdonia, doing some walking and just some chilling up there. And then we came back via Rusty Leigh's place in Hereford, which was really good. If you heard or know of Rusty Leigh and his equipment, such as swivel bases, double and single swivel bases for T5s and T6s and different vans, he also does Rusty Leigh rock and roll beds. We really, really like the guy. I've been working with him for a while, and we brought him some merch, and he decided to pay back the favour as well. So I now have me a Rusty Leigh rock and roll hoodie, which is cool. The hat you see me wearing, yes, this is a plug. This is our new beanie. It's a really cool textured finish on the beanie. This will be available in the shop next week. It's got our 3D printed logo on, much like our hats. Our baseball caps, we followed the trend with these hats as well. So as the nights are closing in, you're in a dank garage like I am right now. They are the perfect thing to keep your head warm. And if you're follically challenged like me, they're the perfect thing. Right, so back to the comments. So the last thing we had was John saying, what is everyone drinking? I've got a coffee. Warren is in the house. Good evening, Warren. Warren from Silver Fox Builds. Lovely to see you. He says, what's up, you lovely lot? Top Flight Photography and Video says, hi Leigh, what would you recommend? A 9mm or a 12mm ply floor over the insulation on my T6? Always a 12mm, to be honest with you. We have used 9mm before. We have found there is far too much flex. Saying that, if you have filled in the ribs on a T5, T6 floor, you might be able to get in with a you might be able to get away with a 9mm floor, as long as you've got lots of points of contact all the way around as well. But yes, generally we'd recommend a 12mm ply floor all day long. John Sear says, Beach Boy, I'm in Seaham. Somebody else, and then Beach Boys replied, hiya, and a coffee here too. Yes, well, this is brilliant. What we try and do on these videos, not only is it a Q&A session, we have friends come on, we have long-time watchers come on. We try and build a little community here as well. As such, we are creating a range of merch, which is Team 333. If anybody who's been watching long enough, has been watching the lives long enough, are hardcore fans, followers and supporters, we created Team 333. I'll explain that all further when the merch and stuff comes out. But yes, if you're part of the Team 333, leave a comment down below. It'll be lovely to see you. John Sear says, side question, did you order one of the limited edition Miss Daisy bug framed artwork? Yes, I did, John, actually. Why? Do you know something I don't? Is it in? Is it in already? No, actually, I was on my way to work, or no, that's what it was. I dropped my first kid off at her high school. I was waiting with my youngest to go and drop her off at her school. I noticed the Mighty Car Mods video come online, and one of the first things they said was, this is our new artwork, get it quick. And within 10 minutes of the video going up, I managed to order that. So yes, John, I do have a Miss Daisy bug. I don't know if it'll be framed, but it's the artwork, and it'll be signed by the boys at Mighty Car Mods as well. So that's cool. Tony's in the house. Good evening, Tony. He says, good evening, fine sir. How was Wales? Wales was bloody brilliant. Myself and my family use Wales as a really good reset and a place to go and charge our batteries. We go out for nice walks, we go and explore the area. I spent a lot of my time growing up in my adult life, so to speak, in Wales, in the army. I used to do lots of walking. I was actually a mountain leader trader back in the day in the military, so getting up on the hills, getting on the mountains is where we love to be. And then since my wife fell in love with walking as well, is where we go and reset. It's really, really good. Love it. But thank you, Tony. Thank you for asking. Warren is in. He says, any vids on the SQ coming? Yes. We've been making plans this weekend, over the weekend, after speaking with the guys at Camry Campervan Furniture and after speaking with Rusty Leigh. We've got plans up and coming for the 2K T5, and that in itself has led on to the SQ range of Dodo mat. There is also a brand new range of Dodo mat coming out as well. If you follow them on social media, you will have seen it. So yes, there's some stuff coming up. It might actually be branded with Coombe Valley Campers as well. Yes, a brand on another manufacturer's product. How cool is that? So yes, that'll be videos coming up. So basically what I'm saying, Warren, yes, there's videos coming up. Yes, we've got lots of products to think about and talk about. The first thing we are going to be doing on the 2K T5 is the bodywork and paint. Any suggestions from you guys? If you've watched the video about the 2K T5, I think the video title was WTF is going on at Coombe Valley Campers. In that video, we spoke about our plans for the 2K T5. I had bought a ton of panels from a breaker van for 300 quid. They're actually 200 quid, but because I felt guilty to my friend who'd actually removed them all of the panels from the van and helped me load them up into my van, I gave him 100 quid to say thank you. Remarkable job. That's my friend David down in Hayling Island. He sourced all those panels for me and removed them because I didn't have the time to. So yes, we've now got the panels for the van, we've got parts for the van. All we need to do is paint it, so I'm going to set one of my guys on that very, very shortly to start doing the bodywork, which is awesome. And in that, the SQ is going to come too. Back to the comments. John Sear says it's awesome. Yes, it is. Did you order one as well? Chris Photo 1991 says, Chris, he says, good evening from a very wet Cornwall, Leigh. I hope you're doing well. Just watched your video of campervan and caravan show. Looked awesome. Hopefully I might make it there next year. Yeah, do you know what? We didn't know how that video was going to turn out. We made like a rough plan in our head before we went to the NEC. I've never been to the show. I've never even been to the NEC as far as I can remember. So when we turned up, we were completely blown away by the event. It didn't help that the things we wanted to see, I mean, if you've ever seen a plan of the NEC, the area where the show was in one half of it, I think. It's a huge U. Where the press office was, where we were located, was one side. But to get to the areas we wanted to see, we had to walk all the way round to where the camper vans were, and that was at least a 20-minute walk. But obviously you try and walk from A to B without being sidetracked by the amazing thing there, or the amazing thing there, or the amazing thing there. We tried to walk back, and then Joe Swash came on stage, and we thought we at least have to get some footage of that. That was quite fun. I didn't meet him or anything like that. We literally were at the back, and it was about that time that Joe Swash, it is Joe Swash, isn't it? Can't even say Joe Swash's name this evening. He was coming on stage to talk about his camper van that he bought during lockdown. Brilliant. You can't move from one end to the other without being distracted or pulled away, this, that, and the other. We filmed some little bits and pieces for some skits or some reels or memes, so that was good fun. The things what surprised us actually at the NEC was what pulled our attention away from regular, because I could go and look at the T5s, T6s all day, but it's not a lot that I haven't seen before. So we went to go and see the things that we hadn't seen before. So we saw that Morello motorhome truck. That was mind-blowing. Nearly £600,000 worth of truck. Mad. You could spend 30 grand on a caravan, brand new caravan from the same place and have all the same facilities, or you could spend nearly, the price of a huge 5-bed semi-detached or detached house for the same thing. Just absolutely mind-blowing. But then we saw the smallest or cheapest caravan there, which is the Beachy, which is something I looked at and absolutely fell in love with. A really nice, simple concept for a caravan. We saw the Mink, which is the tiny little bed on wheels, effectively, that they used in Top Gear. Tiny little 2-berth caravan, which is, like I say, a bed on wheels. We saw that. The Heimer green Mercedes 4x4 thing. Luckily, actually, because we had the press passes, we were able to get in there before the crowds, and we literally made a beeline directly for that, because I thought I want to go and see that Heimer. I want to have a talk with the people without, and we actually filmed a lot more than was shown, and that's down to my fault, because I was walking around with the guy with my GoPro going, this is brilliant, and then Ali came to me after I'd walked around the whole thing, and we went, go and check your GoPro, because I think you just had it on time lapse. And I did. I filmed the entire tour around the Heimer on bloody time lapse, and because it was opening time by the time we'd finished, I couldn't do the whole thing again, because they had somebody coming to view it with an intention to buy one of those Heimers there at the weekend. Absolutely remarkable that, and these people were queued for 2 hours, so they got to the front, so they could literally run to the Heimer to see it before the crowd turned up, and they were putting a deposit down on the damn thing. And from what I heard, they sold 3. They are a £250,000 camper van, and apparently they sold 3 over the period of the NEC, which is remarkable. And apparently somebody even bought one of those Morello motorhome truck things that was on the video as well. 580,000 pounds, I think they were. Absolutely ridiculous. Yes, so lots of things to see. If you hadn't been, go, and it's a remarkable thing. Right, back to the comments. Oh, so that was my response to Chris Photo 1991. I hope that was a comprehensive response there, Chris. Beach Boy says, yes, just watch caravan and campervan video. Very professional. Well, thank you very much. Again, we didn't know what it was going to be. We just filmed as much as we could, and Ali did a fantastic job in the edit to try and make sense of what we did. Chris says, up at the NEC in a couple of weekends' time for the Classic Motor Show. Ooh, you know what? I'd actually quite like to do that, but time is not with us. Between now and Christmas, I've got no time for any frivolities. In fact, what we will be doing, if anybody else is going, if you're watching this, we're actually going to be doing Slough Swap Meet at the back end of November, because I need to get rid of some shit, that's for sure. And I've never been to Slough Swap Meet either, so I look forward to that. John Sear says he did not buy the poster from Mighty Car Mods because he doesn't have a man cave to put it in yet. Well, I've got loads of posters like that are still in their tubes because I just haven't got around to doing it. I want to put it in one of my, either an office or something like that. I still haven't managed to do it yet. Goggy's in. Motivate says, hey, oh, sorry I'm late. Was watching Jumanji with the little one and the missus. Well, that is a good excuse as any. Absolutely, Jumanji is an epic film. Stephen Woodfield says, what's your go-to 110 power battery for the underseat of a T5? It's a very good question and a very easy one to answer. On our website, we sell a low height 110 amp hour gel battery or AGM battery, perfect for that job. We fit them every week to the vans we work on. Brilliant battery, no complaints. We've been fitting them for years. So if you want, go to the coomvalleycampers.co.uk website, check out the battery section there, and you will find exactly one of those. I hope that helps, Stephen. So thank you for your question. John says to Goggy, original Jumanji or the new version? Tony says, buy NEC tickets early. Saturdays go fast, but they do release more. Good campsite nearby. Yes, absolutely. Warren says, have you seen the render of the new Transit Mark 9 Overlander VW/Ford mashup? It would be an epic promo van for CVC with a current Swamper train. Yes, I have seen it. And yes, I know a lot of things. I mean, the beauty of being in my position, when I work with companies like Fiamma and other motorhome type companies, I have been given sneaky snippets of information regarding vans and products coming up. And yes, I've seen that render. Yes, I look forward to them coming out. I think it's going to be the biggest mashup of van, biggest change in the vehicle van industry for years. You know, the T5, T6 platform is now 20 years old, maybe more, 22 years old. So to have the Ford VW mashup, I know lots of people are hating on it. Whatever, things change, get on with it, just get used to it, whatever. You know, other van companies have been doing it for years. You know, there's the whole Toyota, Citroen, Peugeot, Mercedes mashup. They've been doing it for years. No one gives a damn. So with regards to the VW Ford mashup and the vehicle, I think only good can come of it, and that render is pretty damn sexy. So we might have some things coming, so that should be quite good fun, actually. Yeah. Motivate says, at John Sear, the old school, then going on to the new ones. Good stuff. Chris Parnell, good evening, Chris. Nice to see you. He says that Heimer looks insane. Yes, actually, can anybody remember when the Heimer pictures first materialised? I want to say it was the German motorhome show last year, or it was the early motorhome show this year when the pictures first emerged, and I thought it was just a concept design, but no, it's absolutely 100% real. The thing has got a very intelligent shower toilet system that when you're just using the toilet, you open the door, you sit on the loo and you use it. Yet when you want to use the shower, you then open a second handle. The whole bathroom opens up bigger, that includes the wall for the shower and the basin for the shower, but uses the same door as the toilet. So it's like an expanding wall you've got. Somebody else has asked the question, you said the Heimer had an inflatable roof, how does that work? Yes, so if you ever have a look at the pictures of it, or you can catch it in our little video, you effectively, from what I remember or from what I know, you press a button and the canvas is like bubble wrap, effectively, and so they blow up the bubble wrap and it just makes the walls of that pop-up solid and insulated to a point. The actual pop top itself is huge. I've never seen anything like it. It had really good substantial hinges, and it's effectively making another bedroom. But the fact that it's got stairs, you can get, oh, bang it, it's got stairs, you walk up in the van to get up in there, and then all of those stairs have got, you know, there's the heater outlet in one, there's a drawer in the other, there's controls in another, there's a battery in another. You know, they've really, really cleverly used all the space, which is brilliant. So if you were to imagine the van layout, you've got the two front seats and the stairs are directly behind the left-hand driver seat in Germany, left-hand seat, yes, they're directly behind the left-hand seat. But the seating is very clever. The back tailgate / platform is very clever. How much you'd use that in real life, I don't know. Very clever thing, for sure. And what's funny is if you follow our social media, you would have seen that we've recently done some work on a like 80s, 90s Toyota Land Cruiser, yeah, early 80s, maybe late 70s Land Cruiser with a pod on the back. And I worked on that, say, on the Monday, and then went to the motorhome show on the Thursday, and all I could see was evolution of this 4x4 Toyota Land Cruiser with a fiberglass pod on the back, and then I walked into the Heimer, which was a Mercedes 4x4 with a monocoque almost fiberglass body on it. It was great to see how that's evolved over time. I would take the Land Cruiser over the Mercedes any day, but yes, it was very interesting to see that evolution there. Crazy Oliver says, hi Crazy Oliver, nice to see you. John Sear says, the side pod on the Westphalia was an interesting, smart idea too. Yes, do you know what? There were so many things we saw up at that event, I can't even... Actually, when Ali and I were driving back, we said, if we'd have walked around that show and filmed everything that was interesting, it would have taken us all week. You know, we could have had press passes all week, but I couldn't afford to take that much time out of work and just film. But so much to look at, so much to see. And if we'd filmed everything we saw out there, we would have had a year's of content. Easily, we would have had a year's worth of content. We could have showcased every van, every VW, every product, every trade stand, every new motorhome, every caravan. But I think we caught enough to make it an interesting, you know, short form video. It's what, 15 to 18 minutes long. Really, really cool. I would have loved to have shown you guys everything, but again, it would have cost me, you know, myself and Ali for 5 days, accommodation, food, etc., etc. It wouldn't have been worth it for a video, but I'm glad I went. I would like to go to the next one, which is, I think, is February, March. Maybe if you guys go, we could see you there. But yes, really, really interesting event. And if you're into motorhoming, caravanning, campervanning, I would recommend you go one year. It's a very interesting thing to see. Right, so any more questions? Any more questions at all before I potentially get on with this? Does anybody want to see me work on this? I've got it turned around. I'm in my now drying out garage. Basically, if I tip that down there, so that's where my other lino floor started, but I walked into here earlier, and the whole floor, you can actually see maybe it glistening. This is the remnants. I was able to towel some of it up, and I swept a lot of it up. Yeah, this place had an inch of water in the bottom of it. I've now got the heater running. I mean, beyond about here, the heater has no effect, but it's right in front of me. So I can, oh damn, I've got to do something about that, haven't I? I'm too tall. Maybe remove that one or change it for a beam. Right, some more questions. Warren says, what's the Heimer build quality like? Not heard amazing things about the Sprinter from an actual owner. Foam shoved in gaps to fill little spaces. He would change it, but wasn't blown away for 130k. I don't know, I got a very fleeting visit, so to speak. It was a show home, it was a show pony. I'm sure if I deconstructed it, if I had a day to go through it and deconstruct it, I would have picked some stuff up. I mentioned that bathroom that unfolds and folds out, etc., etc. I don't think that would last 20 years, again, which is why I liked the Land Cruiser that we had in, because that had been around the world, around the world, and all the stickers and the stories and the previous owners can testify to that. I don't think that would survive a round the world trip, let me put it that way. It's got too many, gizmos and doodads and fancy things. You need something hardcore if you want to go traveling. That's a very cool thing to have and to see, but whether it would survive 30 years like that Land Cruiser has, doubt it. Chris says, any caddy size vans at the show? No, not at all. That surprised me, and I didn't see any e-vehicles there really either. I was expecting to see a line of ID Buzzes and the other equivalents from other car manufacturers, and the only ID Buzz I saw at the show was outside the Starbucks before we walked in, and that was from a contractor who was working locally. There was nothing there, and that surprised me. So anything that size, caddy size, nothing. But it is the motorhome and caravan show. So maybe if we go to the camper van, the motorhome and camping show, or the whatever, maybe. But you had everything there. You had everything there from single man tents to 30-man tents, it seemed, to awnings. I didn't even know there were more than 3 awning suppliers, but there's driveway awnings. Oh, there weren't even driveway awnings there really. There were some, but it wasn't. It certainly wasn't Bus Fest or this, that, and the other. It was definitely aimed at motorhomes. It was definitely aimed at caravans, and quite frankly, it was definitely aimed at people with loads of money. Nothing was cheap. In fact, again, I'm going to go back to it again, but the reason I love that Beachy caravan, because it was basically the cheapest thing there, and it was so good. It was under 20 grand for a brand new caravan. Now, yes, 20 grand is a lot of money, but if I say had a T5, a T6 combi, and I didn't want to turn it into a full camper van, but I needed some extra space, right? I'd say buy a T5, T6 combi, I'd put a bed platform in from one of the multiple different suppliers like 40 Winks, that's bedroom 1, and then if I wanted a camper slash extra area and I had the money, I wouldn't be towing a huge caravan, I'd be towing one of those little beaches because it's a perfect extra dining room and a pair of beds and a toilet space, blah, 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 and something you could leave on site. Brilliant, brilliant thing. It was under 20 grand, yet the huge 6-berth motorhome next to it was 36 plus 39 grand. Crazy. So yeah, we managed to see the cheapest caravan there, the smallest caravan, the largest motorhome, and the craziest motorhome, which was that Heimer for sure. So yeah. Warren says, I appreciate these things are built by or to a budget, but still 250 grand. Overlander rolling around will only loosen the ground braking. Overlander rolling around will only loosen the ground braking designs. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I mean, if you want a show pony, you want to impress when you go to a campsite, you want to impress when you go travelling, then sure, buy the Heimer. Heimer make really good motorhomes. They had plenty of motorhomes. Whether Heimer are any good at building a 4x4 Overlander style truck, I don't know, time will tell. Stephen says that van reminds me of a whale opening its mouth. Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful and it's really broken the mould, and I think a lot of people are going to follow suit in that sort of style. You know, especially Swamper, that's taken over every sort of mark from Porsches. Everybody seems to want a Overlander slash desert slash trail runner Porsche. Everybody's going with lifted Overlander, and I understand, it's great, it's cool, it's comfortable. Motorhome scene's going to be doing the same. If there's a market for it, they'll make it, basically. Chris says, the Beachy outdoes the Swift base camp for basic camper caravan then. I did consider getting the base camp when I had the Golf GTD before getting my Caddy. I don't know the Swift. Did you say? Yeah, Swift base camp. I don't know, I'll have to have a look. But yes, this. If you have a look into this Beachy, I'll shut up about it one day, but if you have a look into this Beachy, have a look at it on YouTube, and there's a good story behind its design. And basically this caravan was designed it was influenced by van lifers and the whole Instagram thing and everything else. And you know, if you build a camper van, you build a van life and very Instagram friendly van, it's all raw wood and loads of storage and basic material designs and etc, but quite luxurious at the same time. That's how they've designed the Beachy. So it's really interesting the take they've done on it, the design implications and everything else. So yeah, really cool, really cool. It's effectively a van life van, but with no cab and chassis. Warren says, same with these slide shower cupboards with exposed rails. I hope they are stainless. Again, it was a very swift in and out visit. I really wanted to see it just because, you know, it was a bit of a movie star in the motorhome world. You've got to go and see it to believe it almost as well, when you've got to sort of touch it and feel it. Very, very cool. You know, it's based on the brand new Mercedes 4x4 platform, whether they'll upgrade it, etc. Whether it's worth it for them. You know, how many have they sold? Maybe people don't want a green motorhome. Maybe people want to stick with their white plastic boxes with some graphics on the side, who knows. But it's a very interesting concept. I'm glad they did it. And it certainly drew my attention and everybody else's. Apparently on the Monday at one point there was a 2-hour queue to go and look inside the Heimer, which is mind-blowing. Motivate says, hey, my daughter said to say good night. Good night. Is that Malu? Good night, Malu. Nice to thank you for watching. Right, so we are 34 minutes in. My God, that's gone quickly today. I don't know why I'm rubbing my hands. I'm not cold. Mind-blowing today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. 23 of you still in the chit-chat and still in the room, I guess, with a thumbs up. So thank you very much for that. So half point, I'm going to ask everybody if you have enjoyed the video, if you have learned something from the video, or you've liked it. please, if you can find the button, please give it a click for the thumbs up. I will really, really appreciate it. John Sear said bug time. Yeah, do you know what? Maybe bug time. Let's have a look at it. Right, first thing I want to do is actually remove that bonnet. In fact, no, I'm not. Hang on. Right. So, Warren says need a cuppa to hold. Right, hang on. So, let's keep going on what's going on around here right now. So, because of the water ingress I had earlier, I moved some things around because actually the source of one of the leaks is that coach bolt hook thing that's holding the roof down. So I had to move my engine. So the engine that I'm still currently cleaning is that one there. That's the spares and reference engine because they were both as cheap as one another. And what I've got here today, or one of the things, let me move some light, 1 second. Let me just get the light down. Hang on. Do excuse me in the background if you see me with my e-cigarette. Right, I'm going to move that box out of the way. Drop this light down real quick. Yes, this is definitely live. Right. Got a light on a tripod. So, am I going to be able to bring you with me? Yes. I might have to unplug you. Hang on. No, I'm just going to take my phone with me. Come on. There we go. Right. So, if you know under the Beetle bonnet, no, that is very basic wiring. Glove box, ashtray, wiper motor, speedo and stuff, and then that's your fuse panel electrics. Now, it's really, really good and really handy to be able to have all of that. But what I also noticed was there's no heating. None at all. That's just the bonnet cover, if you even want to call it that. Right, I'm now going to pin you back into this. If you can't hear me, by the way, do shout. So that is the bonnet liner. Pretty rank, but maybe I can template something out of that. No, that will get damp, so I'm going to put that up there. And the fuel tank, which I aim to clean completely before it goes back in the car. I'm not going to do a sealing job on it, but I'll do a washout of it. So let's go into under where the fuel tank was and catch up with what I've done in the past. Hang on, let's bring the light with me. Oh, do you know what I have got? Where did I put it? I must have taken it inside. I was out on my dog walk this morning and found a torch. And I reckon, and any mechanics out there will know exactly what I'm talking about, I reckon it fell off the bottom of someone's car. Because I've lost a couple of torches to magnetising them under somebody else's car. And so I found a torch on the road as I was walking the dog this morning. And I reckon, oof, that's too bright. I reckon it had fallen off someone's car. So I picked it up. I've had it on charge all day, so I've got me work light for the garage. It was soaking wet. It was, you know, condensation behind the lens and everything. But I must have left it inside. So, right, let's get into down here and show you very, very quickly. So, under the bonnet, what I have done, and shout if you can't see it, but I've done a new steering damper. I've done the new, the donut connectors in between the steering column and the steering box. We've done new lines around the brake line feeds. Right down there, that's the fuel line that goes through the chassis. I've cleaned up a ton of rusty bits down here. I'm yet to paint that and rust proof it, but by the looks of the orange down there, I need to do that quickly. And then this is the beam in, because if you remember when I brought this back from my garage, from my workshop, it had no beam in it. Oh my gosh, I've turned you sideways, so sorry about that. But yes, the one thing it didn't have at all was any heating. So I did my research and I wondered what it needed, and that's when all of these parts came in. So we've got a nice box of used bits here. We have some dash vents. They go up into the dash. Hang on a second. I need something to... There you go. So, dash vents. 1 and 2. I'm going to guess by the telltale signs they've got like a rubber seal all the way around them. But that would be quite nice to actually have air blowing up into the windscreen. The airbox, which takes in fresh air from under the bonnet. Sorry, from the bonnet. So it takes fresh air from the bonnet, draws it through. So when you open up one of the 2 flaps, it controls your fresh air circulating through the bug. That's really, really cool. Another very similar part which distributes air around the car. I think these go into the corners actually. So this somehow connects maybe to one of these. I don't know. Maybe to one of these somewhere. And then that distributes warm air to the corners of the dash. So if you have a look, let's go this way. So up in the corners of the dash, you have these vents. You've got 1 and 2. Ah, that's where that one goes. Right, you can come and do this with me. So let's grab one of those other vents. Let's grab that one there. Hey, this is cool. Right. So, if you can see there, tilted you sideways. If you see here, you see that? Hello. See my fingers just moving here. So that's where this vent goes up into. It won't be that way. It'll be this one. So that is going to go once that flap is shut. Yeah? Is that right? Or does that stay open? No, that's there. And that'll go in there somewhere. Actually, if I pop that up and out of my way, you see this, guys? I think that needs to pop up and out of the dash. Yeah, that pops up and out. And that feeds up in there, which is cool. So then you can direct the air either blowing into your face or blowing up into the dash. So that's a cool thing. And then I'm going to guess you use... I haven't had a bug this late, sorry. My first bug was a 67. So I'm going to guess you use that. Yeah, there you go. So that vent goes left or right to direct it up into the windscreen here. And you flick it over and it will blow straight into you, or you can do half and half, I guess, as well, which is kind of cool. So I've got one for each side of those. Brilliant. So that's good. I have the box, this box here, that mounts. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? Yeah, cool. I have this box that mounts up in here, look. That fits up there rather beautifully. Oh, look, does that actually fit directly onto there? No, there you go. Right. So that will mount up here. Where are we? Yeah, that'll mount there, that box. But I need to swap the bonnet over. I've got another bonnet, because this doesn't have a fresh air vent. Well, it has a form of fresh air vent there, look. So that might actually feed that. I don't know. Yeah, it must do. Okay, maybe that is the right bonnet. So that fresh air vent then feeds down into the top of this. And then you can circulate the fresh air left and right into those, which is cool. So that fits up in here. I need to now find a hose that will feed from this point into this point. I believe it's just the standard corrugated tube, which I don't have. Okay, we'll find something. So it's a standard corrugated tube that fits between those points, 1 and 2. And then I have tube that allows me to go, excuse me, from the inlets there, feeds up in. Aha, okay, so I get it now. So that's your fresh air inlet, and that's your heater inlet. But it has to travel all the way from the back of the car to the front of the car, then through those vents, and tries to demist you and everything else. Who knows? John Sears says it's like building Lego without the instructions. Yeah, absolutely. So, there's those box of tubes there. I don't quite know what that one's for. Anybody know what that one's for? I have no idea. Okay, if anybody fancies Googling whilst we're doing this. 111-255-473C. That's 111-255-473C. I don't know where that connects to. I reckon it must be Y pieces that go up down here that divide the air between up in that corner vent. Is there a, yeah, there's the tube there. If you can see it, there's a tube just here. Is it? That tube there will do the corner vents. Oh, it's all coming on, isn't it? Right. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that one's definitely there. And then on the back of here, on the back of, where are we? You've gone the wrong way. No, there you are. On the back of here, there's some 1 and 2 little screw points. Let's see what goes in there. Yeah, just have no idea where they go. So what I've also got are 2 heater knobs, because I didn't have any decent heater knobs for the dials. And if I go through my collection of, aha, there they are. Right. This came with the car. Oh yeah, see, I've organised all my parts. I need to get rid of some shit. Hang on, hold the phone. Right, there we go. Right, so this little doobry here, that allegedly, right, bear with me. This allegedly fits up in here. Into, oh no, there you go, it's upside down. Aha, I'm getting it. So this will fit there. See where the holes line up here? 1 and 2 down here. Then the dials will go through the dash there. If I can reach, I don't think I can. Basically the dials will come through here, look. You see these two? And then, so once the dials are on there, I can twist them left and right. To control these 2 cables, which connect to these little flaps. if I put that here, I'll be able to show you. Hopefully you're not getting too dizzy. So these two little levers here, see those? 1, 2. So that's all they are. I've gone to all this length to have that, which seems pretty ridiculous. Oh, what year, Leigh? 72. Warren says, looks like the same as the side vent, but for the centre of the screen. Have you got middle vent on dash? Do I have a middle vent on the dash? That's a very good question. Yes, I do, you clever little stinker. Hang on. This is why I love this, because everybody's here to help. Hang on. Right, where's my box of bits? Ah, Warren, you're a clever stinker. Yes, there we go. Right. So it looks like I'm going to have to remove... Looks like I'm going to have to remove my wiper motor, because there is... Yeah, there's a vent up there. And that, I reckon, will slot straight into that. Yeah, cool. Shall I remove that wiper motor now? Yeah, there you go. He thinks it connects to the master box. Yeah, same. There must be a load of Y joins in there somewhere. So let's see if I can remove that. Yeah, that's going to take, what, 10 and a 13 and a couple of 13s? Yeah, let's do that real quick. Let's set you up. Ta-da! Brian, you're a clever stinker. Right, should we take the wipers off? Wipers off first. Doesn't take a lot with these. One. So there, my box of bits. Yeah, so in between doing the engine and engine stuff, I'd like to get everything working up here too, because that'll be fun. And then when the engine's done, we can just flip the car around. My aim was actually to have this on the road already. Silly boy. I wouldn't have had this on the road already. Hang on. Right, Chris has sent you blowout diagrams on Instagram. Hold the phone. Gosh, we're at 53 minutes. Are people here? I've only got 4 pipes. Maybe I can trim them down, because I don't think I need all of them. Well, all of those lengths anyway. And there's your dials. There's 2 of those. Oh, this is exciting. It's all coming together. Right, let me get that wiper motor off. Right, that one's done, that one's done, that one's done. Yeah, I'd love to be able to have heat in this thing. That would be novel, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to leave those bolts there so I can lose them later. Right. Right, where are we? What am I thinking? Right. There we go. 17 on the outer ones. Oh, this is going to take time. Maybe I'll find my socket, make life a bit easier, eh? Tony says, a Beetle with heat is novel. Yeah, do you know what? What's interesting is on this car, find my sockets now. On this car, where the heat exchangers come in through the back of the body, someone's actually welded them up. I really like them, but there's two things I'm thinking. Bearing in mind how good a condition the chassis is in the most part, I think I can get all the heating cables back up to snuff. Sorry, all the heating back up to snuff. But I was also considering fitting a diesel heater in here. You know, I have an old used Eberspacher, and I've seen people fitting diesel heaters into Beetles before. They put them down in the front spare wheel well. What's it? But I was thinking if I put it under the rear seat, then maybe I could plug it into all the existing heat exchangers and things. But I'd love to be able to use a 1970s car in the way, you know, the 1970s, the way it was designed to be used. And if I could, reinstate all of the old systems, I just think that'd be even cooler. Gosh, this is going to kick my ass, isn't it? There we go. I think what I'm going to do to make everybody's life a bit easier, once that wiper motor's out of the way, I'm going to remove the bonnet real quick. Is it short runs? Question mark. Chinese diesel heater. Half hour each way, so there's enough time for it. But yes, I still might do a diesel heater. This is a question from, I'm replying to Tony. He says, I've still got a brand new heat exchanger in my dining room and a new door. Blimey. Tony says, oh yeah, they take so long to feed through from the back. I just used to tell people the heaters were just to make sure it doesn't rot again by drying the floor pan out. Yeah, that's about right. Now, in terms of heat exchangers, I have one, two. I've got heat exchanger parts down here. But no, if I can fit a diesel heater under the back seat, for example, and at least plumb it in, at least I've got the dash vents, right? Or if I just put a diesel heater in it, turn it on 15 minutes before I leave, then the whole thing will be warm anyway. Who knows? Who knows? Right. Bonnet off next. Let's do that. Do that again on my own. This is fun. You'll like this. Watch me try and remove a Beetle bonnet on my own. Right, one side down. Oh, never gonna see that again. think I did genuinely lose that then. Oh man. Right. So, a 10mm now. And then maybe we can get that last bolt out. Right, we're just over an hour. Man, you people are dedicated. It was so quiet last week. I don't know if anybody tuned in last week. I think it was the rugby on last week? I'm no sports guy, as you can probably tell. Behave. What? Wants the bloody box out now. Find tools. There we go. World's longest flathead screw. That's not the right thread. Okay. Well, that escalated quickly, didn't it? Right. Telescopic magnet for Leigh's Christmas present then, yeah, absolutely. Right, so I should really go and find that torch, shouldn't I? Hang on, I've got another torch. Where are you? There, right, there you go. It's like a little mini selfie light. Stay. Cool, so that's, can we see it? Where are we now? Here you go. So that's obviously some holes some idiot has drilled in before. There's now like a phone mount on that. But that is the vent. So if I find the piece, that's the piece there. I'm going to say it goes that way, and then that little flappy bit protects the stereo from moisture. So as you push the stereo in, that folds up like that. Sure, why not? Right, hang on. Let's see if that will clip in. Let me see if I can hold you here, guys. Hang on. How is... Oh, come on. Right. There, how's that? Stay. Right, let's see if I can mount this in here. I'm going to say that way. Sounded like it clicked into place, huh? Cool. So that's in. Yeah, so that would protect those relays that aren't connected properly. Sorry, they're the light switches and things, so they've got to be connected in properly, and that will protect those. That wiring will be there. Let's see if my hoses will fit. These are the hoses I have. They seem to have two different ends on. I've either got ends that look like that, or ends that look like that. Confirmed, that's for sure. Where would that run? Would that run under the glove box, do you think? I'd say under the glove box. Under there, look. Nice. Well, there you go. There's one. And then the other one. See if I can get you this side. Hang on. What do you reckon? You comfy there? No. Okay, I'll just hold you whilst we go. I'm going to shove that one under there. Is that right, do you think? Light. Is there enough room to shove a hose under that? No. So maybe that one just runs like that. And down there. It still plugs in the same place. Well, there we go then. Hey, whilst we're here, we've got the other stuff out. Should we try clipping those other two? I don't like this here. I reckon that will run somewhere else. But that's, oh, I know where they run, idiot. I believe I know where this goes now. I believe this one runs there, and then feeds through one of these. Oops, just broke it, look, that's good. So that lifts up there, and that'll be the home for one of them, just there, look. And then the other one, will feed into that one there. There you go, yes. That looks about right. Maybe under the wiring. Yeah. Who knows? Right. Yeah, there you go. I need a new rig, don't I? I need like a baseball cap mounted GoPro that I can plug in live, right? That would be cool. Cool, right, hang on. Let's leave that there. And let's see if I can plug in one of these two whilst we're here. That bit. But I think I'm going to need to remove... Wow, check out the cobwebs. I think I'm going to need to remove this vent. What do you think? Is that going to allow me to just remove it? I feel like I need about 8 pick tools. Right, you got there. Right. Cobwebs everywhere. Blah. Right, so middle vent, that'll be permanently open. This one you can choose to have pointing at you, and then that's the side vent that blows over the windscreen. It's quite comprehensive, actually. That's that gnarly phone mount, which will probably stay, to be honest. So, yeah. Let's have a look at putting one of those in. I really need a phone mount or something, or GoPro mount. That's this side. Pardon me. I can hear the rain coming. So if I put that vent all the way up, like that. I'm going to need two hands. Hang on. Now I'm going to try removing that vent. Hold there, guys. Oh, there we go. That was easy enough. Cool. So for those of you who haven't been watching for the entire hour, or the last 72 minutes, we've done a big Q&A today. We spoke about our last video that we put out, which was the motorhome and caravan show. That was cool. Spoke a lot about that. Everybody seemed to like that video, which was nice. Good few questions about it. And now we are on to the Beetle, which is cool as well. Kind of why we're here. One of the reasons we're here. Come on. Okay, nailed it. Right. So when this vent goes into place, this should just slot down into it. Ta-da! Oh, I was having a bit of trouble doing that. So, hopefully, I don't know how this is going to stay up in there, but hopefully that should now fit into place there. Come on. Aha. That looks like it. Sure, right? That's one in. And then that hose, which one is it? Where can you see it? This hose? There it is. That hose will connect down to there. Oh, I tell you what. I reckon what this is going to do, this is going to come down here into that same bracket with that one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're getting this. This is cool. Right, well. Oh, hang on, here we go. I've just bought a DJI gimbal that follows you around. Got it half price. I'll send you a link. I've got a DJI gimbal as well. It's not that posh one. But yes, you're right, I should. Motivate says, at Tony Lost in the VW, what's your Instagram? I couldn't find your underslung gas tank video. Oh yeah, there we go. Super. Right, well, I think I've suitably taken the car apart this evening. I think we've suitably taken you on enough journey tonight. It is now 9:15. I can fancy a cup of tea. I might actually come back out here. I don't know. But for now, for tonight, for today's video, I'm going to call it. Thank you so much for everybody's help. Thank you so much for everybody's questions. I've had a really good evening. It's gone really fast this week. Last week we cut it short. This week it's just gone like that. And that's down to you guys for supplying lots of questions and comments and everything else. So once again, thank you so much. And I shall see you next week. Again, if you've liked this video, thumbs up. That'd be lovely. It'd be really, really helpful. See you next time. See you next Sunday. Bye-bye.